JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 7th of May 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top, guys. So now then, jumping into the chart, so a quick update on what's happening here with the German index DAX, and well, as we can see, it has managed to break this downside line and managed to push further above the 15,268 territory, the one that I was talking about. So, yep, for now, everything's looking quite positive. The index continues to run higher, or should I say now it kind of slowed down a little bit because again we pushed further north. We tested the high of the 28th of April, which is around the 15,355 level where the price is currently sitting at. We did overshoot that level, but like I said, yeah, we're drifted back down and now we're currently sitting just bang on that level. Now for me, what I'm looking at here is basically I would like to see where this is going to end up being today, where it's going to close today. And at the moment, if everything stays like this, then of course, yes, we will probably remain above this downside line and above this 15,268 territory right here, the one that I was talking about previously. If it does that, then yep, there is a potential for this one to move higher. However, of course, I'll still remain careful because if this candle, for example, and this is purely speaking from the technical side, if this candle, for example, stays like this and closes like this today, then we'll get ourselves a nice little doji formation. If during the U.S. session today, if the U.S. session declines, then the cash index, the DAX, might drift lower as well. And basically on Monday we could get ourselves a lower open here. This is one of these scenarios that I'm talking about, of course. And if we do get something like that, and then for example that Monday candle is going to end up being somewhere around here and closing somewhere around here, then we'll just basically get ourselves a nice beautiful island reversal. And this is one of those patterns that we sometimes look at, and yep, it does sometimes work out, but again, at the moment, guys, I mean, that's not the case. We're still far away from all that, because first of all, let's see how today's daily candle is going to end up being, because in a way, if it closes like this, but then for example the US markets continue to rally, then well, we'll just get ourselves a runaway, we'll get ourselves a possible runaway gaps here. And yeah, I mean, we'll get ourselves a nice opening here on Monday, somewhere above this candle, and yep, basically this could just indicate a nice continuation move north. So yep, for now there's a lot of speculation, of course, but let's see where we're gonna close today. And most likely, guys, I would recommend to leave it for now, just because again, it has been already a very interesting week, as you can see, with a strong decline initially on Tuesday, and then with a strong recovery on actually on Wednesday and Thursday and today, so which kind of brought the index back into positive territory. I mean, look at this nice, beautiful recovery. I mean, that's quite a decent move here to the upside. So, well, this kind of indicates kind of for of a possible further strengthening. So. Again, let's not, like I said, not over speculate too much on this one. Let's see how this is going to play out further. But at the moment, yep, everything's leaning a little bit more towards the to the upside. Dow Jones Industrial Average. So, I mean, on Friday yesterday we had a nice strong move here higher. And by the way, before I continue with this, of course, we did get the non-farm payrolls, and well, the non-farm payrolls came out as a huge disappointment, I would say, because the expectation was for 978K, and this is when this morning I told you guys about it to keep an eye on it, because the previous number was also around 900 and something. The forecast was 978K, but the actual number came out at 266K. So that's a huge disappointment, I would say. If we take a look at the cash index right now, we'll see that the Dow Jones is declining now, because we did initially push above yesterday's high. Which was, let me just drag this one right here. So we pushed above that yesterday's high, which was around 34,561. We did, climb above that level, but now we're kind of back below this area. And of course, now the big question here is, as I said to you this morning, will this upside line hold? Now, if it does, then yes, a nice rebound could be possible. But if it doesn't, guys, well, I mean, maybe a bit of a correction here or lower could be possible. However, I would prefer to see it drop below the 34,257 territory, somewhere around here, before considering that option for a bit of a larger correction to the downside. And NASDAQ 100. So NASDAQ did rebound yesterday. It did push higher. And what I said to you yesterday as well when I was covering NASDAQ, that in a way that's of course a good sign that we had a rebound. But now I would prefer to see a push above the 13,700 territory and also above that 21-day EMA in order to go for the upside. Well, I mean, looking at the cash index right now, NASDAQ is popping higher. And we are moving, we're now currently trading at around 13,800. So basically somewhere around here already. So not far from the low. Let me just grab a line here. Not far from the low of the 3rd of May here, near the, near this 13,785 zone. But as I said, we're slightly above it right now. So in a way, this is a good indication. There's a possibility for NASDAQ to push further north. Let's see if that happens. But at the moment, guys, continue monitoring the situation here near this upside line. And I do understand that there is a bit of a conflicting kind of views here on Dow Jones and NASDAQ. But yeah, I mean, that's the case, unfortunately. At the moment, let's see how if technology can drive the market today to the upside, because lately it has, well, as you can see by this week, it has been a little bit on the downside. So technology might be picking up the pace again today. So keep that in mind. The dollar index, and of course, this is what I talked about, and well, the dollar index is drifting to the downside. And look at this. I mean, it didn't work out well for the dollar because, well, the NFPs came out on a much lower side. And by the way, unemployment also increased. The forecast was for 5.8%. The previous number was 6. Now it came out as 6.1. So yeah, that's not very good here for the US dollar, and this is the result we're getting. So but what we're doing right now here is we're testing the lowest point of April near the 90.42 zone. So if can it rebound from this area or from this upside line? Well, let's wait and see. But basically, the idea even that I mentioned to you this morning did kind of work out, because what I was saying that I need to see a clear break through one of these levels before considering the next kind of move. And if we do get a drop below this 90.87 zone, then yes, my next target is around here. So there, yep, that kind of worked out perfectly. US oil, which is WTI oil, it's drifting to the downside. Of course, weaker employment kind of numbers, of course, show weaker demand for oil as well. So that's why it's a little bit of a tricky one here. Although DXY is declining heavily, WTI oil is pushing south here as well, and we are approaching this 63.80 zone, the one that I mentioned previously. But let's not forget that we're still within the rising channel pattern, and for now, I mean, even if it drifts lower but finds good support here near this the lower bound of the rising channel or this 21-day EMA, yep, we could see a nice rebound and a push higher. While we're on the topic of commodity, I mean, I just forgot to actually include gold just to see how it's performing here. So gold, of course, is enjoying the moment of the weaker dollar here, and here you can see, and gold right now is acting as a nice safe haven. And well, we are pushing further north, guys. And so for what I was saying to you today, that if we remain above the 1816 territory, my next target is the 1855 level near this downside line, which could provide initial resistance. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, let's just continue aiming for this area here. Now, Litecoin, pushing higher, of course, weaker dollar. Yep, all that is kicking in here. And Litecoin also, maybe cryptos are also seen as a bit of a safe haven here, and that's why we're seeing this nice push higher. So investors are jumping out of the riskier assets and jumping into something a little bit more stable. Sorry, just almost use the word stable, not stable. No, I mean something a little bit more other than stock, than equities, and yeah. So here, for example, at the moment, I mean, yeah, as long as it stays above this 335 territory, we'll continue targeting the upside. Now, AUDJPY. So we're still kind of near this barrier. I mean, we were near this barrier, near this 85 zone. So I talked about AUDJPY a lot this week, and I said that in order to go for some higher levels, we need that pop above the 85 zone, but we're not really getting that. So for now, we will remain careful, and we'll just play the waiting game here. For the downside, I need to see a drop below the 84.08 territory here, 84.08, in order to consider the downside. USDJPY. So yep, that's the result we're getting here. We're seeing the USDJPY is drifting lower. So yep, a bit of yen buying here, and a combination of some yen buying and the weaker dollar. So that's the result we're getting. However, I would, as I mentioned before, I would prefer to wait for a drop below the 108.44 territory, somewhere around here, in order to consider a bit of a larger correction here. Or I wouldn't maybe even say correction, but a move lower, because I can't really say that it's a well, actually, no. Let me just rephrase that. No, I mean, we can't say that it's a correction because we're still trading above this upside line. So, so yeah, a part of it, I mean, yes, it is considered as a correction. So for now, that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on here. If this this hurdle here breaks, and we see also the rate falling below this upside line, then yes, of course, a bit of a move lower here could be possible. So keep your eyes on this one right now, and let's see how far will the USDJPY decline. GBPUSD, so pushing nicely to the upside, and yeah, breaking this downside line. So in a way, there's a lot of positivity here, and the pair is pushing above that 1.39. Actually, let me just rephrase this. So no, I mean, it's coming closer to this 1.3977 territory marked by the high of the 29th of April. So for now, guys, I would say yes, there is a good chance for this one to push further north. However, let's keep an eye on this downside line. If the pair remains above this downside line, then there is a good chance for this one to drift further north. However, these obstacles here would need to be overtaken first before, let's say, getting a bit more comfortable with the upside. For now, anything can happen. I mean, we could see that reversal in the dollar as well, and if so, then, well, the pair could drift back down. So that's why don't rush into anything. Probably even you could leave it for Monday, but if you remember, guys, this week, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday when I talked. No, it was yesterday when I talked about GBPUSD. Basically, the idea here, what I was saying to you, that we might see this little pattern here if we forget everything what's from the kind of start before the 3rd of May candle here. This little pattern here could be seen as a possible bullish flag, and well, I mean, that's the kind of the reality we got here. In a way, it did work out as a bullish flag. This is what like I said, what I've mentioned in one of my videos previously. And yep, we had that pop. Now, however, in order to go for some higher levels, we need to see if the daily candle will remain here above this downside line or not. Finally, EURUSD. Look at this beautiful move here, and there we go. So we're popping above the 1.21 zone. This is what I said, that if we pop above this area, then my next target, of course, is the highest point of April near the 1.2150. But if that gets cleared, the next target for me is the 1.2190 zone, and then, guys, we will take it from there, because this is a very important area of resistance. If that one gets cleared, of course, certainly the further acceleration to the upside is possible. However, at the moment, let's go step by step. First, let's target that 1.2150 zone. We're not far from it. If that gets clear, the next target is the 1.2190, and then we'll take it from there, guys. So, but again, as I said, the idea is working out, the one that I kept talking about throughout this whole week. So, guys, that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes this week. I really do. So your comments as well. So yeah, thank you very much. That means a lot. So if you want to join me on Monday, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful evening, have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.